I am 92 years old. 92. That's a hell of a long time to be walking around on this earth. I was married to my Eleanor for 54 years. 54 damn years before cancer finally took her. And now young men come to see me. Sometimes older fellas too. They look worn out, like they haven't slept right in weeks. They lean in close. It asks me real quiet, like it's something shameful. Frank, how do I know she's the one? How do I know I'm not wasting my life? And I see it plain as day. You scared. You scared. You wake up at 80 years old, sit down at the breakfast table, look across at her, and realize you built your whole life with the wrong person. And let me tell you something, that fear isn't foolish. It happens, but you boys are asking the wrong questions. You're chasing fireworks, butterflies, that spark in your chest that makes your hand shake. Let me tell you about fireworks. They're loud, they're bright, they explode, and then they're gone. Real love, the kind that carries you all the way to 92, isn't fireworks. It's a fireplace that's steady, it's quiet, it keeps you warm when the furnace breaks and the wind's howling outside. So if you're sitting there wondering whether you made a mistake, I'm going to give it to you straight. No nonsense. I've got 4 tests. If she fails them, you got a hard decision to make. Test 1, the silence. When you're young, you think love is noise, talking, laughing, filling every second because you're afraid of what might happen if things go quiet. But the real test is this. Can you sit together in silence? I mean, really sit. 2 hours in a car, no radio, just the road stretching out ahead. Does that silence feel peaceful? Or does it feel heavy? Do you feel like you gotta entertain her, perform, keep things moving so she doesn't get bored? If silence feels like pressure, son, that's not your partner. That's a guest. And you can't host a guest for 50 years. It'll wear you down to nothing. Eleanor and I could sit on the porch for hours watching the rain roll in. Not a word between us. And I never felt closer to her than in that quiet. If you can't be alone together, you ought to think long and hard. Test 2, the foxhole. Life ain't a vacation. It's not beach sunsets and smiling photos. Life is a fight. One day you'll lose your job. Your mama might get sick. The roof might cave in. You get a phone call at 3 a.m. That drops you to your knees. When that day comes, and it will, look at the person beside you. Is that who you want in the foxhole? Will she steady herself and say, "We'll get through this," or will she panic? Blame you? Fold under the weight? I've seen men lose everything and rebuild because the wives stood shoulder to shoulder with them. It has seen men stumble just a little and watch their marriage fall apart. If you can't trust her on your worst day, she doesn't belong in your best ones. Test 3, the mirror. This one's quiet, but it matters. Who do you become when she walks into the room? Do you stand a little taller, feel a little stronger, more like yourself? Or do you shrink, hold your tongue, second guess who you are? The right woman won't make you smaller, she'll make you better. After 54 years, I didn't lose myself with Eleanor. I became more of who I was meant to be because she believed in me even when I was unsure of myself. And now at 92, sitting in a quiet house with her empty chair across from me, I can tell you this. The butterflies fade, the looks fade, the money comes and goes, but peace, loyalty, the feeling of being at home with someone, that's what lasts. Stop looking for fireworks. Look for a fireplace. Because when you're my age, warmth is everything that they walk on eggshells. They swallow their dreams because they don't want to trigger jealousy. They stop calling their friends. They shave off pieces of who they are little by little just to keep the peace. Listen to me. If you have to make yourself smaller to stay in your relationship, you're in the wrong one. The right person doesn't make you shrink. They make you grow. They stretch you. They pull something better out of you. When I was with Eleanor, I wanted to be a better man. Not because she nagged me, not because she handed me some ridiculous honey-do list, but because she believed in me. She saw the man I could become, even when I couldn't see myself. And if you don't like who you are when you're around her, if you feel weaker, quieter, less alive, get out. Before you forget who you are completely, let me give you a test. I call it the good news test. When something good happens, you land a promotion, you close the deal, you find $20 in your old jacket, who's the first person you want to tell? If it's not her, you're already gone. You just haven't said it out loud yet. And here's the hard part. When you do tell her, watch her eyes. Do they light up? Does she celebrate you? Does she say, "That's my man"? Or do you see it, that flicker, that shadow, that tiny hint that must be nice? I watch marriages decay slow and quiet, because one partner secretly resented the other's success. That's not love, that's competition. If you feel like you had to hide your wins to protect her feelings, that's not kindness, that's cancer. Eventually it will kill what's left of a love. Now let me tell you something else. I miss my wife. God, I miss her. The house is too quiet now, too still. But I don't regret a single minute, not one, because I knew when the silence between us felt peaceful, not tense. I knew when life got ugly, when it felt like war, and she was right there beside me in the mud. That's partnership. You get one life, just one. You don't have time to stay polite. You don't have time to force something that doesn't fit just because you're afraid of being alone. Being single at 30, yeah, that's scary. Being married to the wrong person at 50, that's tragic. At 90, that's a life sentence. So look across the table, ask the hard questions, and if the answer in your gut is no, find the courage to walk away. Now listen, I'm not a therapist. I don't have a fancy degree hanging on my wall. I'm just an old man who's watched too many people reach the end of their lives full of regret. I can't make your choices for you. I can't live your life. And I sure as hell can't sign your divorce papers. You've got to look in the mirror and decide what you can live with. But I hope, more than anything, I hope you choose happiness. I'm tired now. Go home, look at your life, and tell yourself the truth.